What up, what up? It's another episode of Booze Reviews. It's your boys, Critique.
Watch your mouth.
And your man's T-Roy.
Up, dog.
And your man Mugu. And we here with another review to hit you. And this week's review is Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Yeah. This is my man T-Roy. I'm going to let him lead it off. Hit us.
All right, so 2010 came Scott Pilgrim versus the World. This was based on a graphic novel originated in Canada by what's his name, Brian Lee O'Malley. It was inspired by the Japanese anime comics that was going on prior to that. So this is the film adaptation of it, and it's starring Michael Cera. Y'all seen him in Superbad. That's probably the biggest thing I can help y'all get to remember him from.
Hot Fuzz.
Hot Fuzz?
Yeah.
Who's Hot Fuzz?
The main character?
Yeah.
Wasn't he a Hot Fuzz?
I don't think so.
Oh, maybe not.
He might. I don't know. I gotta watch Hot Fuzz. I know the British guy, Simon Pegg, was in that one.
Oh, okay.
You got Michael Cera. You got Mary Elizabeth Winstead. She was in the Thing prequel. She was just in Ahsoka too. She's the green character in Ahsoka, the TV show.
Okay.
Oh.
Brie Larson.
Yes.
That's Captain Marvel from the Marvel movies. Chris Evans has pretty much a cameo role.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to think who else.
Yeah,
Ellen Long.
Yeah, it was.
It's a nice little cast.
It was a nice little cast. This what. Like you said, it was just two main characters. This is actually where Captain America and Captain Marvel really started getting.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
Which is Chris. What's his name?
Chris Evans.
Chris Evans and Brie Larson.
Brie Larson.
Yeah, that's when they really stepped on the scene and came up from there.
Yep. So this is directed by what's this guy's name? Edgar Wright. He also directed a movie that I want to check out. Came out about a year or two ago called Last Night in Soho. I think that's on HBO Max. I've been meaning to check that out. Also, I'm trying to think what else. He co-wrote the first Ant-Man movie too. So that's a little backstory on him. So yeah, the premise of the story, Michael Cera's character, Scott Pilgrim, they are based in Toronto, Canada, and he's kind of like a slacker. He's insecure. You notice some early flaws about him in the beginning of the story. He's kind of insecure, and with him being insecure, he's in a band, a garage band called Sex Bomb.
Sex Bomb.
Yeah, they do their rock and roll thing, and I think it's Kim, Neil, and Young Neil and Steven. That's the members of his band. Speaking of his insecurity, he has a 17-year-old girlfriend. Now, mind you, I think Scott Pilgrim is like 22, 23. But I feel like it's based on his insecurity because he lost out on a relationship. His previous relationship, he's dating a girl that's 17. And her name is Knives Child. This story covers a lot of, we talked about this, it covers a lot of different genres. You get some martial arts, you get you get the comic book feel, comedy, you got the love story element in there. And it was pretty decent. So the thing is, Scott, he runs into Ramona Flowers. That's played by Mary Elizabeth Winstead. So he finds out after he hooks up with her that she has 7
deadly exes.
Yeah, deadly exes. When they find out that him and Ramona are kicking it, they are sent out to kill him pretty much. And this is where the whole comic book elements.
That's and it was dope.
Yeah, and
video game too.
Yeah, that's another thing. Got the video game element.
That was a big thing.
Definitely. Yeah, with the coins and the action and the
fights, the
points and round one and all that.
Dude.
Mm-hmm.
So people that grew up playing Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, and all that, y'all gonna be familiar with that. So the X's are, I'm trying to think, I got it listed. Got Matthew Patel, He got some weird kind of crazy power going on. He has some demon chicks, and he be dancing and singing. Chris Evans' character, I think his name is Lucas Lee. He's like a skateboarder, but he's also an actor that fights you with his stunt doubles.
Yeah.
You also have a vegan, a super vegan named Todd. He got like these super. I guess he got these super. Yeah, it was kind of dope.
He was dope.
He had some super cool powers because he was vegan, so that just made him be able to whoop everybody's ass. You also got a female character, and you know it was kind of funny because she you know it lets you know that Ramona had a lesbian experience. Scott looked at her like, damn, you was messing with females too? She was like, it was just a phase.
Made him like her even more.
Yep, and her name was Roxy, and then I think it was two twins, Kyle and Ken.
Yeah.
It was like these Japanese guys, they have some cool special powers or whatever. But overall, you know, I wasn't gonna go through the whole plot of the story, but just a quick little run through. I thought it was visually this movie looked pretty good to me. I don't think it had the best story. The story was cool, but I think it kind of dried out toward the end.
Yeah.
Visually, though, it definitely looked good, and it was very entertaining. I'm glad I watched it on the big screen. So, I'm going to turn it over.
What you give it?
Yeah.
I'm going to give this movie, because I watched it, this is probably only my 5th time watching it.
He said only.
Only because if I really love it, I'm going to watch it all the time, but I liked it a little less than when I watched it before. And I watched it last night. I'm gonna give it a half a cup and a shot.
And a shot.
I don't want to commit to that.
You need a little booster, like a little love.
I can't give it that other side.
Yeah,
True.
Right.
Yeah, half and a shot.
Okay. Yep. So I'm gonna turn it to my man Critique.
All right. First off, me and Mughal textedly dogged him when he said he wanted to pick this movie. I told him, like, don't you know, like, we're black and most of our fans are black. And Troy came back, you know, professionally, as he always do, saying, like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Ain't that what it's about? You know, picking movies out our viewers range, our range. And I said, you know what? It better be good then. It better be good because I heard this movie stunk so bad. Garbage Man didn't even pick it up on Garbage Day. It was on the side of the road. That's what I heard. And I'm a man that got to tell the truth. I get this movie 3/4 of a cut.
Wow.
And a shot of Angel's Envy finished ride. Let me tell you why. It had its down points. Actually, it's not even a down point. But as T. Roy pointed out, the ending kind of fell off. But the ending was only like 4 minutes long, really. So it worked out for me. Like, I didn't have to sit back. Like, you know when you had these movies that you say at the end, it was just trash, like it fell off.
Right.
And it usually end like that's usually like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And he was like, come on, dog, you could have wrapped that shit up in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And that's what Scott Pilgrim versus the World did. Come on.
So you felt like they wrapped it up?
They wrapped it up quick to where, like,
Okay.
I can say, I have to take it back. I can't say it fell off. It was just, it wasn't a ending that I expected.
Okay.
I can feel Troy when he say it fell off. It was like, you know, the ending is supposed to be the big build up and shebang. It wasn't. It was, I think it flowed with the movie. Then I was thinking this movie was trash. I fell asleep on it twice. Maybe because I didn't like fall asleep on it because it wasn't interesting. I fell asleep on it because I was drunk and I was tired from working. 1 cup of some Jefferson's Ocean, and I was gone within 15 minutes. But when I watched the movie last night, when was this movie made?
2010.
2010. This film, I would say, is original. It was an original. The fighting scenes, it it was different. It was carrying along with the comic book and karate movie type thing,
Right.
but and the arcade game. It was I've never seen it. I ain't seen it like after this, except with kind of with the Adam Sandler movie where he had to beat up Pac-Man. Pixels. Except with Pixels, but that just came out like
and that was based
6 years ago.
Yeah. And that was clearly based on that.
Yeah. The fighting scenes were 2010 quality of a 1982-83 Chinese flick. Chinese karate flick. It was American people. It was I think the word that I thought in my head that I said I was gonna use was I think it was eclectic. It was eclectic, like it was funny. It was classic.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It was classic, and I'm a big comic book collector. I'm a big martial arts movie follower. I'm a big arcade game player. Troy didn't tell us nothing about that. Like, so I would have to say, T-Roy, I apologize. Because I dogged that nigga on Twitter. I mean, not Twitter, on the text message.
Yeah.
I dogged him. And that's my man, but I gotta tell him the truth. And I said I would give this movie a chance. But the storyline fell in with the main character. I want to say he carried the movie, but you followed him, you followed the movie.
Right.
It was dope. You had your romantic. It was dope. And he always had the right thing to say for some reason. But he was a clown.
He was.
He was a clown. And the villains, Troy said, they had their own thing. And the fight, man, I'm telling you, the fight scenes were the authenticity of 2010 versus, let's say something like I ain't gonna say Five Deadly Venom. You know what? It was on point like a Five Deadly Venoms or a Drunken Master. It was on point 2010 style with this movie. This movie was fun, but it was serious.
See?
And it was technical.
Okay.
It was to the point I was like, fuck, I gotta tell Troy this shit. Nah, my bad, dog. He said, give it a chance. Y'all.
Oh no,
Did you call us some hoes or something? Like, y'all some hoes.
Oh, they dragged.
Right.
Yeah, dog. Yeah,
It's
but
it's motherfucker fan.
I really thought that this was gonna be our last show because y'all was gonna drag us, and I was gonna tell Troy like, dog, you should stay here. All the guns are here because they come and play you. But no, if you haven't seen this movie, see this movie. Think of 2010, and it's dope. The dude is dry funny, and I can see why. I have two dudes that I talk to at my job. They're movie connoisseurs. I was hoping one of them could come over today and give his thing. He loves Scott Pilgrim. It has a cult following.
It's a lovable.
It has a cult following. It didn't do well. Yeah. Well, my man at Amazon said it didn't do well. I don't know nothing about it, but my man at Amazon said it didn't do well, like when it came out. But like after a year that it like came to video cassette or DVD, people started watching. People started dressing like these cats. People started like talking like these cats, and I feel that because I feel the same way about Napoleon Dynamite. That's one of my favorite movies that had.
That's what made me think you was gonna like this movie.
I loved it
because I know how you feel about Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah, I loved it, and I thank you because I'm rarely wrong. Like when I'm text messaging, I'm always wrong when I'm speaking. But I will stand up and say, and I said it on the text message after Troy said, hey man, ain't that what it's all about? And I was like, you're right. And I'm going to give it a fair chance, but if it ain't, I'm going to let you know. I gave it a fair chance. 3/4 of a cup and a shot of Angel's Envy finished right. This shit gets you going. And I like it. Okay. I like it. Good pick, T.
Okay. So yeah, man, it's me. So I would say they pretty much covered right where I was at. This movie come at you 100 miles and running. Okay. It's a whole lot of stuff to try to absorb, but once you get it, And I think that's where Critique hit us at with, if you follow him, you following the movie, and you're not going to get lost in it. And, yeah. So, I mean, this is a coming-of-age story, of socially awkward. Most cats. And most cats, even like right now, or young guys, probably younger right now, probably like 17 into the 20s or whatever, now in this generation are probably going to love this type of movie because in most senses, they can relate to it. But it's a coming of age thing, and I think we all kind of went through it. You know, you got a girlfriend, but then it's a hotter chick.
Hot new chick in town.
Right, and then in this particular position, that was a step up for him. You know, I got the 17-year-old. And then once he see
that
her,
was another thing.
Once he see her, he started kind of like, his girlfriend don't do it so much. You know? But at the end of the day, like I said, this movie come at you 100 miles and running, man. And to your point, I will say this. I was introduced to this by T-Roy. We were doing some business and he was watching it. I never really focused in on it. But I saw, the one thing that I did see was like the video game stuff. You know, the coins, the points and stuff. And it was kind of like, okay, is it hacky or corny? And then it's like, all right, you got to really be listening to watch this to, you know, to get the inside jokes. And
you have to listen to my man and his friends.
But
I'm going to comment on his friends after the movie.
But it's cool how, like again, gave these exes all these little different powers. How, and then I kind of also, and I think I might have said this to him when he first told me about the movie. I was like, oh, this is kind of like how he's perceiving all these events. You see what I'm saying? It's not that that this is really happening. It's just how I see it happen. And that was cool too.
They left that up in the air. You know what?
They kept it mixed up.
I knew at some point, you know, he'll drift off into La La Land. I would say all that shit was happening. Them fight scenes was dope.
Y'all remember the particular scene when he was fighting Matthew Patel in the club? His sister,
number one,
when the fight broke out, the first guy, his sister was kind of looking like, what? Like, as soon as the fight broke out, she was the only one that was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, how does he doing? Where's these demons?
That shit was real. I demanded.
He know it. He went into it. But see, and then, so out of all of that, like I said, it was just fun. Like if it was a fun movie, and I'm definitely down for that. So, and you know, our text message shit, you know, that don't get on screen, but you know, that's between us. It's like some jokingly stuff. You know? Somebody coming, you know,
Scott Pilgrim
like,
versus the world. Like title alone gets your ass a good ripping. At least two texts.
You at least
two texts.
Like some emojis.
Scott Pilgrim versus the world. What is you on? Unzip your black skin and let the whiteness flow. Just go ahead.
Exactly. Like dive in. It's a lighthearted, but definitely a lighthearted movie, man. And I was right with them, and then listening to what they scored it, man. I put it right at a half cup.
Y'all crazy.
I put it right at half. Well, you didn't come out with the full. You ain't say full.
I said 3/4 and a shot.
Yeah, well, I'm going. Okay, so look.
Half a cup.
So look, I'll put the shot with it. I got 1738 today.
Ooh,
shot of 1738, something nice and smooth for you.
I'll buy that for $1.
Yeah. so yeah, and then to one point, last point. So look, we talked about exploitation series and culture, right?
Yeah.
This movie, now you said it didn't do well, right? But they're saying the box office is almost close to 50 million. So now, how much did it take to make this money?
And then look and see when it. Okay, go.
How many characters? Like you have to think all them actors got paid.
Yeah, but they was all like nobody in that movie was a star at the time, so they probably
got
like
the standard, right?
Yeah, even Chris Evans was still like on the come.
That's why he said like they first. This was kind of like a toe in the water, like nobody really seen it until like right then, or maybe it was something coming out that same year or whatever.
But the cast was white, and to Raji Henson, peace to her strength, my sister. To her point, they get paid what they supposed to get paid.
So this is
how much did it?
So this is saying that the box office was 50 million.
Mm-hmm. How much did
but
it
what I need to, that's what I'm saying. I'm gonna look that up while you giving your thing.
Yeah.
But and if this only took $300,000,
not with those special effects. No, dude, this was 2010 with that. With that CGI special effects,
they pretty decent.
Okay, so the CGI would be the demon chicks, the
arcade,
the little
kapow, the boom,
the twin brothers.
Yeah,
when they was
and when they was DJing and the two
they was battling with the guitar,
wolves came out.
Yeah,
and then what's
dragon
and all that. Yeah, then a gorilla came out from Sex Balloon.
Yeah, they was giving
those.
So what if it only took $2 million to make this movie?
Okay. Yeah,
50.
I know what you're saying.
Based off of that, boy, that's
my question was no.
Go ahead.
My question to you would be, like my man said, it didn't do well opening. He said after a year,
right.
then it caught on cult.
Yeah.
As a cult movie, like a cult following.
Yeah. So
after that, so that's going to be the question that I'm gonna type in.
So
but first,
and that's a good one because I will say this too. When this say box office, I'm thinking about when it was released from that day until when they pulled it out of there. So if it made 50 million, but then, like you said, Cole come later, Blu-ray, DVD, bing.
That's how Napoleon Dynamite was. Didn't nobody know about Napoleon Dynamite at the movie theaters? And everybody, man, people dressed up as Napoleon Dynamite for Halloween still to this day. Yeah, but I want to tell y'all about if you take the chance and take the time to watch this movie, pay close attention to the friends. The friends, his brother, his sister, and his friends, the people in the band.
You talking about his roommate?
That was his brother, right?
Yeah, that was his
brother. That's his friend.
Oh yeah,
that's his gay friend.
Yeah.
No, I thought it was his brother.
Nope. Yeah. He got a sister. His
got
sister
a sister.
Okay. At the coffee shop, but Wallace was his roommate.
Wallace his roommate.
Pay attention to Wallace and is it Neil?
Young Neil. Yeah.
Young Neil. Oh,
they all that dynamic was hilarious.
Yeah, it was. That's this movie is this movie and Napoleon Dynamite is the perfect definition of cult classic movies. The budget, as Mugu was talking about, the budget might have something to do with the promotion. Maybe the cast.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody famous in Napoleon Dynamite either. Except for
You talking about now or just like back then?
Oh, yeah, just back then.
Oh, yeah.
Wasn't nobody famous in Napoleon Dynamite now, but John Heater, he can't go nowhere. Like he was like a heartthrob at one time.
You know probably who would have been the most famous?
Who?
The dude the vegan guy. He played Superman. He probably was the most famous back then.
Yeah, okay.
He played Superman. And even that is kind of a stretch.
You know. On TV, right?
No, what was it, Superman Returns? Remember that movie didn't really
do
that good?
No.
Superman Returns.
Yep. That was
the vegan played him.
You don't even remember it. That's speaking volumes right there.
Right. I seen Superman. He wasn't Superman.
Was Superman.
Okay.
Kevin Spacey played Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
In the movie.
Yeah.
He's Superman. And they kind of model him to be like Christopher Reeve.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude played Superman, but I didn't recognize him.
Exactly.
Yeah. And the main character reminds you of your boy. What's your boy? What's your boy that played Facebook Boy? Remember the movie about Facebook?
Oh yeah. Not Andy Samberg. I know you talking about Eisenberg. I forgot.
Yeah,
he played Lex Luthor in Justice.
Yes, he did.
Superman.
The main character.
Yeah, they like the same person.
Yeah,
much.
I mean with the same voice, same delivery, same awkward, as Mugu said, socially awkward humor. Yeah. But let me see. All right, y'all go ahead and start wrapping up.
So this movie, like you said, if it was a box office flop.
Okay.
50 million, right? But see, their production budget was 85.
Ooh, so they
was
lost.
way under.
They
so
lost.
that's why it took.
went in the red.
But that's why it took years after for it to kind of like catch up. Because, like you said, now they probably sell some merchandise.
Yeah.
They eventually made a sequel and it was like
they
a
take
sequel
off.
And it was like a cartoon sequel or something.
Yeah, it was a cartoon because it said Take Off. That's the first one that came up when I put it in. But yeah, this movie was doubly in the dumps after the box office. You know what I'm saying? They could have made 2 movies based off of what that was.
I think I saw one commercial.
I would have checked out a sequel if they would have did one like
the same way though.
Yeah, if it would have had that same feel to it.
But
they very much stuck to the comic book element.
Yeah, they did.
And the storylines of the characters from the comic books, because I read it.
But see, this also became a video game too.
Yeah, it was a video game.
Scott Pilgrim vs. the World was a video game?
Yeah,
they made a video game.
In fact, you just pulled it up. It's right on there, probably.
Damn.
Yeah, that's where they had to make some of that money back. They had to figure it out, but they wouldn't have never known it was going to catch fire later.
Yeah. I would have, if they do a sequel right now, I definitely, be interested to see it. See where it goes.
I think everybody right now is too big. Not everybody. He will come back and do it. But he wouldn't need everybody. He would need some new people.
Yeah.
He needs some new people.
Okay, here you go.
All
right, here you go. I'm going to read it. We can shut it down. Okay, where I'm going to start. The film uses famous features of its Toronto setting and matches the style of video games and comic book imagery. It's used real musical artists, including Beck and Metric, as a basis for each fictional group in the Battle of the Bands. Plot with some of the actors also performing. A combination of digital and physical methods were used to create the extensive visual effect. Although it was a box office bomb that failed to recoup its $85 million production budget, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World received positive reviews from critics who noted its visual style and humor and garnered a cult following. The film has made several top 10 lists and received over 70 awards and nominations.
Yeah. Okay.
Its scholarly analysts, it has been widely discussed as a transmedia narrative. Yeah. After the movie hit the video store, the movie grossed $55 million.
Yeah, so it just got over.
Yeah,
like it just got over. But
it's hard to get $55 million from Blockbuster.
But 85 though. But by this being an $85 million budget movie, it wasn't spent on actors. It was spent on those effects.
Yeah,
that's pretty much that I.
That's what I told you earlier.
Like majority on that.
Hell no, with them effects, dog, in 2010, like pretty much CGI was really getting it because George Lucas did not do certain Star Wars movies until the technology was available. So they was ready to pay him out the ass.
But some of that stuff that they did in this movie, in my mind though, feels like they were basically in front of a green screen.
In front of what?
A green screen for a lot of the back stuff.
Yeah. I would think so.
Then they, like you say, then the computer stuff of adding poof and pow and the dragons and all that stuff. Yeah, man. So, all in all, like I said, it's a fun movie. Across the board, it seemed like we, we dug this movie, man. We definitely tell you to go check it out.
Yep, definitely.
Amazon Prime,
check it out, man.
So Amazon Prime, check it out if y'all want to. And
make sure you when you watch this review, make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe.
And what else?
Subscribe.
Yeah, you go.
One more time. You know what I'm saying? You can't do it enough. So, but this your boy Mugu. It's your man's Critique.
Watch your mouth.
And your boy T. Roy. It's another one in the bag. We'll see you later.